Good morning and welcome back. It is 5:13 and it's a bone-chillingly cold morning with dangerous wind chill values here across the Tennessee Valley. So we have that Arctic air mass that started to move in yesterday, gave us some flurries. Some of you got a light dusting or two, especially in some of the higher elevations. But temperature is the big story this morning. 13 in Blue Ridge, 15 in Chattanooga, 6 in Altamont. But here's the kicker. We have a north wind at about 10 to 15 miles per hour, and that's leading to wind chill values very cold. 4 in Chattanooga, -8 is the current feels like temperature. So along the Cumberland Plateau, those wind chill values are especially dangerous. 2 in Cleveland, 3 in Blue Ridge. But even these values, if you stay outside too long with no layers on, you can have frostbite starting to show up in 30 minutes to even an hour. So that is just something to be mindful of. If you do work outside, make sure you're layering up. Toboggan, everything today. Hour by hour, 20 by 11 o'clock. Look at this. This is going to be the slowest warm up we've ever had. Only 26 by 3 p.m. And despite the brilliant sunshine today, we're just not going to warm up all that much. As we take a look at your temperature trend, again, we'll slowly climb into the mid-20s. Could stay in the teens all day along the Cumberland Plateau in places like Altamont, up into Monte Eagle, Tracy City. And then tonight we'll fall back into the teens. And by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, low teens along the Cumberland Plateau, mid-teens here in the valley. So it is going to be another cold night. Definitely want to remember the 4 P's over the next couple of nights before you go to bed. Remember to protect those people, pets, plants, and pipes. And one of the most important things with this kind of cold, make sure you're heating your home safely. That is very crucial. Bring your pets inside if you can. Move in those potted plants and cover exposed pipes and leave that nice little drip to your faucet because you don't want a frozen pipe. That could ruin your whole week. And then as we get into the rest of the week, we're also tracking some unusual, wacky, wild winter weather here across portions of the south. So we're going to have a winter storm impacting the Gulf Coast as we move into Tuesday and Wednesday, which of course is tomorrow. Could have accumulating snow from Houston, Texas to Pensacola, Florida. And some of that light snow could sneak into some of our viewing areas, especially across North Georgia. So as we take a look at the current winter weather alerts, of course, we have the cold weather advisory here across portions of Tennessee and Georgia. Winter storm watches and warnings down across the deep south. I mean, we're talking Jacksonville, Florida under a winter storm watch. First time in 11 years that parts of the Florida Panhandle has been under a winter storm watch. Warnings all the way from New Orleans to Houston. So this is just going to be a mess for areas that rarely ever get any kind of winter weather. So as we track it all out using our Futurecast, again, we're nice and dry today. Not going to have any issues, but look what happens as we get into Tuesday morning. Some blue starts to show up in places like Baton Rouge, New Orleans, southern Mississippi, really I-20 and south. So this is going to be a mess for portions of the deep south and Gulf Coast. And I actually lived in Mobile, Alabama for a couple of years. It's a pretty hot place. Very much humidity down there, but this is going to be a very unusual storm. But notice here, by the time we get into Tuesday evening, the moisture is still to our south. Now, if this bumps a little further to the north, could have some light snow, but it looks like Atlanta is going to be the cutoff for now, and that heavier stuff is going to come down across South Georgia, maybe even into Savannah and parts of the Carolinas, and then this starts to move off by the time we get into the wee hours of Wednesday morning. So again, very unusual storm. You're going to have that chance for some accumulations. In fact, New Orleans could pick up as much as 4 to even 5 inches of snow, and same for Mobile, Alabama, and parts of the Florida Panhandle could even pick up upwards of 3 inches of snow. So we'll watch this closely. Again, if it ticks a little further to the north, some of our southern viewing area could have some light accumulations, but for now it looks like we're mainly going to be dry and cold. But nonetheless, make sure to download that Local 3 weather app, keep you updated throughout this cold air that we're going to be dealing with for the next couple of days. So here's a look at your Storm Alert 7-day forecast. Again, right now I'm just putting some flurries in the forecast for tomorrow, maybe sneaking up into Chattanooga, but a lot of that stays to our south. Wednesday, Thursday, we'll keep it into alert mode because it is going to be unusually cold for the next several days, especially at night with overnight lows in the teens and low 20s. And then by this weekend, a little bit warmer, but temperature is still going to be on the chilly side even through Saturday.
Okay, so it's here for a good minute.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of a strange week. When you have snow coming down in places like Houston, New Orleans, you know it's cold here. It's just wild.
It really is. Thank you, Clay.
Absolutely.